All right, guys. I'm a soldier. I am a soldier. I could have easily gave up. But you know what I did? We running a part 2. I'm going to tell you what happened. One of the buttons I need to push or press is right there next to the start-stop stream. I accidentally stopped the stream. So I'm glad that happened, because now I know exactly what to do if that ever happened again. The first thing I'm about to do is move this button so I don't accidentally do this again. So let me fix this right now. So just like you guys was patient with me before, be patient with me again. That's what we're working on right now. Let me go ahead and move this button. I don't ever want that to happen again. So move this button, paste, got it, go here, delete. All right, cool. That'll never happen again. So we won't have that happen. Now, this stream is going to be a part 2 to the first one. So if you were tuning in, you're trying to find out what was going on or what happened, that was it. So we fixing this right now. And now that I've stopped the first stream, I can go back and put the right title on the one that I had finished. And I appreciate you for helping me realize that that was the issue. There it is. So it's letting me fix it. There we go. July 6th. So I fixed that on X. And it's not just July 6th. We need to make sure that that says July 6th part 1. So let me update that one more time. Edit post, July 6th, 26 part 1. Part 1. Guys, things happen. Things happen. And I have to figure out how to fix it, how to make it work, and how to keep this thing going. So that's what we doing. Citigroup, June 6, 26, 2222. Why is it still showing that old one? And then it's still saying June down here at the bottom. Let me refresh that. Yeah, it's still saying June 6. That's weird. That's weird. Still work on it. See what you can do. Edit. Nope. I ain't gonna worry about that now. We back on. Let's pick up where we left off. I don't want to hold anybody else up if they tune back in, but that's what happened, guys. I accidentally shut the stream down. The start stop button was right next to the like button. So let me figure out where we were and let's pick this up. So we were talking about the S&P 500 index and going back to the charts. So let me pull that up. Bam. All right. Take the light down and then put the SPY. There we go. And then do that. All right. So I'm back. Let me get this ninja chat going again. Oh, we need to close this doc out. Need to close that out. And we need to close this out. I'm about to relaunch the chat. That's what I'm doing now, because I want to make sure that if somebody send a message that I get it. Oh, I can't wait to have my production team. I'm trying to tell. Oh, y'all see what I'm going through. All right, docs. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I talked to my cousin about this earlier. And he gave me a great pep talk. I started laughing, though, because I was like, I'm frustrated because I know I'm not going to quit. I'm not frustrated. I'm not frustrated because I'm thinking about quitting. I'm frustrated because I know doggone well I ain't going to quit. That's what I'm frustrated about. I know that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. And I'm going to make my mistakes. I'm going to fail forward. Just like John C. Maxwell say, I'm going to fail forward. You hear me? I'm going to fail my way to success. I'm going to keep going and do it in real time. Y'all can watch me do it. Y'all tuning in. Y'all seeing me mess up, put the wrong dates on here, stopping the stream in the middle of the stream, being hot, sweating like a slave. Y'all see it? But I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. If it act up, I'm coming right back like I never left. All right, now let me put these links back in the chat. Put these links back. Talking about that video I wanted to share. Let me find that on YouTube. Yep. So we got that as a part 2. So that's going. Go to studio content. Nobody hit the like. That's cool. All right. Go here, edit. But that boy is determined, ain't he? Surely is. I'm happy. I'm still happy and optimistic after what happened, because I know that I'm laughing and I'm excited because I know somebody else would have quit. They would have been like, man, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to bed. Nope. Nope. That's what a loser would do. Nope. That ain't me. That ain't even me. It's not how I move. So there we go. Put the link back up in there. That's ready to go in the chat. We got the right title on there now. Doesn't say June, says July 6th. Put this link right here on left off, or this actually killed on X. This says 4 minutes. I believe that's the one where it restarted. Yeah, I need to refresh this on X because I think I did something funny. So this top one, that still say 4 minutes. That's a mess. Okay. There's the one that's live. So that says July 6th, part 2. That's the one that's not right. That's July 6th, part 1. That's only 4 minutes. That's not the right one. So we delete that one. There we go. Now that's the one that was earlier. That was the 56 minutes. That's the one that's wrong. So we edit that one. And it doesn't let me edit that one. Change who can reply, post. You post analytics. Click on this and try anyway. People time to tune in. And it's crazy. It will not let me change the name of this video that's wrong. That's titled wrong. Let's try this again. No. View hidden room. Nope. That's crazy. Why it won't let me rename this doggone video? Is it because, you know what? Worry about that later. Worry about that later. Keep moving on. Go back to Thinkorswim. We was talking about the SPY. So let's go up here to the symbol box. Type in SPY, SPY. There we go. All right. Ooh. All right. The SPY is moving up again, guys. So here is the 52-week low for the SPY at $617.87. Here is the 52-week high at $760.40. And we're going to zoom in and we're going to look at today's candle. So go here to this tool, zoom in. I know we have a lot of price levels over here, guys, but that's because the SPY is trading at all-time high levels and it's responding to price levels frequently because it's trading in a range. To me, it seems to be trading more sideways. And this crazy wick right here, if somebody had some stop losses in, they came down and they took all that, they got all that liquidity. And it's been trending up ever since it dipped down to this low down here. To that low. Bam. You know what? Let's use a different tool. No, right here. When it dipped down there off that candle, it's been moving up ever since. And now what's significant about today's candle is that it was able to close above this area of resistance that I had on the chart. So that's also a psychological level of $750. So even though the price level says $749.88, that's the level that I was seeing when I did my technicals, when we used these different price levels to connect as many candles as I could. We used the low of this candle right here. That's where we got that price level from. But it's also a psychological level. So today's candle was able to close above not only the area of resistance we had on the chart that I drew, it was also able to close above that psychological level of $750. Okay. So the next area of resistance that I'm seeing We don't even really have to change it. It's right here, $755.44, and then the 760.40. Those are the two areas of resistance. If it comes down, two areas of support, well, it's going to be three, $744.44, $739.97, which is the 9-day simple moving average. And then this price level of $737.05. So that's what we have for the technicals on the SPY. Now let me go down here and pull this chart up, and I'll show you. Matter of fact, I don't even have to go all the way down there. Remember how I was showing you when you read up at the top, it'll tell you some of the stuff that you don't need the floating data box for. So let me show you. We want to find out what the price level is. Let me do this again. We want to look and find what the price level is for the 200-day simple moving average. So it's going to be right here. So we don't have to actually move the chart. So the 200-day simple moving average is at $692.74. That's going to be that dashed white line. Just in case this is your first time tuning in or you missed it, I'll go ahead and show you where that is on the chart. But that was one way to have to avoid going all the way down there to see it. Okay, it's down here. We just go down to that price level, $692.74. Okay, now let's get the quote for this ETF, because we're done with the technicals. We are done with the technicals. And let me check to make sure this chat, I can hear it if somebody leaves a comment. Yeah. All right, so delete that. We got the chat set up. Yeah, I lost a few viewers when I ended that stream. Boy, they like, man, this man crazy. So where we at? Okay, the quote, the ETF quote. Here we go. Floating. Let's get it. So the SPY opened today at $748.74. They had a high of $752.41. They had a low of $747.41, and they closed today at $751.28, which was a trading range of exactly $5. That's crazy. The trading volume today was 50.6 million shares of this ETF was traded today. All right, now let's cut off the floating data box and let's look at what the average trading volume is for the SPY in a daily trading session. Here we go. Average trading volume, guys, is 73.2 million, and today they did 50.6 million. So that means they're definitely trading below average volume, even though the stock price went up. The other thing that I'm seeing is that this red candle right here that had more volatility because it had a wider range, like we talked about in part 1 of the video. If we go here to the settings, we can look at what that range was. So the range on this candle is $11.28. And remember, today's range is $5. So that's less than half of what this is. Okay, the previous day. And the previous day had more volume. It had more volume. Yesterday, they traded 57.5 million compared to today's 50.6 million. All right, now we can put me back on the screen and pull this chart back down a little bit, spread that out. Yeah. All right, put me back on the screen. There we go. Now, out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was only higher than 35 of those candles. Out of the most recent 252 trading days volumes, today's volume was only higher than 35 of those trading days volumes. If we looked at that as a percentage, that would be 13.9% out of the 252 trading days. Okay, that's what we're looking at right here. 13.9. Bam, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go back over here. Let's see what else I got in here that I didn't cover yet. All right. Okay, sector rotation tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they performed today. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. It's one of my favorite parts. Let's go ahead and go. All right, so let's go back to the charts. We're trying to follow the money. What the institution's doing? Where they moving this money at, huh? What they doing? All right. So we're going to change this to the rotation tracker tool. Rotation tracker. Now, if you tune into the weekly recap live that we did yesterday, that 3-hour show, we spent a lot of time on this tool. So we got some stuff prepared for this to be able to handle this today. Okay. So there we go. We got that ready. This is what happened last week. So we're about to update this, looking at what happened today. So the first thing we need to make sure that we see when we look at this tool is that we're looking at today. So 1D, that's what that means. So we good for 1 day. That's today. So what we looking at, we need to update this. We need to update this. There we go. All right. So we're not looking at 1 day week. We're looking at one today. Today. We're looking at today. Let's update this. TODAY. Bam. Today. Now, we're going to update that. We come back to that part. Let's talk about this. So the S&P 500, okay, the S&P 500 is up 0.7% today. Energy is down 0.2%. Materials is down 0.1%. Industrials is up 0.9%. Consumer discretionary is up 0.8%. Consumer staples are down 1.1%. Healthcare is down 1.1%. Financials is up 0.9%. Information technology is up 1.7%. Communication services are up 0.6%. Utilities are down 1%. And real estate is down 0.9%. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go through this and we're going to update these stats so we can quickly identify who the two biggest gainers were and who the two biggest losers were. All right. I wish I had put that S on there, that other video. I'm missing that S on all those videos, on all those other things we did on the weekly recap live, but it's all right. We're going to fix that. We gonna struggle our way through it. Like I told you, we gonna feel our way to success. Just go ahead, just keep going, keep being consistent and show up. So here we go. S&P 500 is up 0.7%. Now we want to know what the biggest gainers are. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a green arrow to identify those. So that's information technology. Let me browse over this real quick. I think it was industrials, guys. Industrials came in second. Yep. All right. Now the biggest losers, let's see who those were. Consumer staples and healthcare. Yep. Consumer staples and healthcare. So we identifying those using green and red arrows so it'll be easier to find. So now what I'm doing, what am I now doing? Oh man, what I'm doing now. That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm doing now. We're going to put this back on yellow, erase this little dot I did here. And there's our cursor. There's our cursor. All right. So biggest gainers. The first one is XLK. XLK. And that would be information technology. Information technology is up 1.7%. Got it. And the next one, I think, is 0.9. Yep. Industrials. So we erase that. Industrials is INDUSTRIALS. All right. Now I'm about to tell on myself. I don't know what the ticker is for industrials, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to find it. We're going to figure it out. So this is how we do that. We're going to go up here to the Market Watch tab. We can hide those arrows. We don't need those right now. Then we're going to go to quotes. Then we're going to go to personal. And then we're going to go down to State Street ETF. You can't see it, but these are my personal tickers. Now I can spread this over and I can look for industrials. It's XLI. Well, that was easy. I could have guessed that, but I wanted to make sure it was right. XLI are industrials. So they're up 0.9%. Biggest losers, put the arrows back on there. So the biggest loser, consumer staples and healthcare. Now they look like it's the exact same amount, but I'm sure that it's not. So this is how I'm going to figure out which one had the bigger loss. Let me minimize this, cut on my floating data box, apply. When I mouse over as far as I can to the right, soon as those numbers start to show up, it'll give me more decimals. So you see consumer staples was down 1.05. It rounded it up to being down 1.1. So healthcare lost the most, coming in at 1.9. I hope you can see that on the right. All right, so that's what we got. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put that back on the screen that was there. We can take this floating data box off. Why did I do that first? Come on, come on. Take that floating data box off. And then we're gonna update this on this. There we go. So it's not real estate, it was healthcare. And healthcare is easy. Not necessarily easy, but I remember what it is. Healthcare is XLV. Healthcare is one word, each down 1.1. 1.1. It's not energy, that is consumer staples. Now, I don't know this one either. It's not XLC because XLC is communication services. So let's do this. Let's go find it. Go back to Market Watch, hide these arrows, and we're looking for consumer staples. That's tech, communication service, consumer. Looking for staples. There it is. It's XLP. So go back to charts. XLP. XLP. Bam. There we go, guys. So that's what we got. The two biggest gainers in the S&P 500 index as far as sectors is information technology up 1.7%. Industrials. This is the State Street ETF. State Street Global Advisors ETF. These tickers right here. XLK, XLI, XLV, XLP. But biggest gainers, information technology up 1.7%. Industrials up 0.9%. Biggest losers, healthcare down 1.1%. Consumer staples down 1.1%. And this is the performance for today looking at the sector rotation tracker tool. The S&P 500 is up 0.7%. Bam, we got it. All right. Now we can go ahead and hide this. We can move on to the next part of the show. Go back here, go there. We got the light there. Yeah. All right. So let's see what we got. We followed the money. Now let's look at the S&P 500, biggest gainer and loser of the day. And first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. That's what we're going to do. Absolutely. All right. So go back to the charts. Bam. All right. Now go back over here to pro market close. Here we go. Put this back on here and clear this out. Delete. Got that. Okay, so we need to go back to the Market Watch tool. We need to change this watch list to the S&P 500 index. We already have it on the biggest loser. So the biggest loser for today in the S&P 500 is ticker ORLY, O'Reilly Automotive Incorporated. They lost 6.66% today. There it is. Their previous close was $90.25, and they closed today at $84.24. Okay, so let's do a hypothetical. Let's pull out our calculator. Clear all this out. We got a whole bunch of stuff on here. Why is all that stuff in there? Why is this? Is it froze? Why all this stuff over there? Memory, history. Can we clear the history? I thought you just pushed C. There you go, delete. Boy, I tell you. Oh man, I'm on a struggle bus today. Oh man, 4,500. Let's say somebody invested $4,500 and they lost that 66.66%. So we multiply this times 6.66, negate it, turn it into a decimal based off the percentage. They would have lost $299.70. Now we add that back to the $4,500 initial investment. They would now be left with $4,200.30. Boom, bada boom, bada bing. We got it. Now let's go ahead and go to the Analyze tab. And we can see that O'Reilly's is in the consumer discretionary sector. So we're going to look at how that sector performed, how that industry performed, and how the sub industry performed that O'Reilly is inside of. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up here to the Market Watch tab, and we're going to go to the Visualize sub tab, and we're looking for O'Reilly. They are in the consumer discretionary sector. So we're going to look for that. That's information technology, financials, consumer discretionary is right here. Bam. Now we're looking for O'Reilly's. Guys, there's a lot of stuff in here. And a lot of stuff in here is small as well. So I'm thinking, since I don't see it over here on this side, it's going to be over here in these small areas. Now there's another way to do this just in case. Just in case I don't see it. Am I looking at? Let's double check. Consumer discretionary. Absolutely. Okay. So here's another way for me to do this. If I go to quotes and then I go to personal and I go to temp, I can just put in O'Reilly, ORLY. Now it's going to be in this watch list by itself. So I don't have to dig through a whole bunch of companies. Go to visualize and then I'll pull up. You can't see it, but I'm pulling up that watch list. That's basically what I'm doing. The one that said temp, there's O'Reilly. Now I can find out what it is. Consumer discretionary, specialty retail, automotive retail. Now it take me off the screen so you can see it. Here it is right here. It's broken down. Consumer discretionary is the sector. Specialty retail is the industry. And then automotive retail is the sub industry. Now we can go back to the information technology sector, and now we know exactly where to look. So put me back on the screen. We go up here to consumer discretionary. And now we go down here to specialty retail, and there's O'Reilly. So guys, when there's a will, there's a way. you seeing my will tonight. So we go over specialty retail. Bam. There it is, automotive retail. So we go in there, we can see the AutoZone is down, Carvana is up, and O'Reilly is down. So 2 out of 3, 2/3 are down today. In the automotive retail sub industry, the actual industry is specialty retail. So we just go back out 1. So all of these are specialty retail industry. And then we go out 1 more, and then we'll be looking at the consumer discretionary sector. There we go. All right, now let's go back to the Analyze tab. Take me off the screen. Now, before we visit their website, here is Citigroup's business name or official company name. Here's the link to their website. It's also down in the description. This is not who we looking at. We are looking at O'Reilly. We already looked at Citigroup, ORLY. There we go. Before we go to O'Reilly Automotive's Incorporated website, here's a link to their website. We're going to read a little bit about the company and then we'll go visit. Let's go. O'Reilly Automotive Incorporated, together with its subsidiaries, operates as a retailer and supplier of automotive aftermarket parts, tools, supplies, equipment, and accessories in the United States, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Canada. Boom, got it. Put me back on the screen. Take that ticker, this disclaimer off, and let's go ahead and go to their website. So it's going to be 3. There we go. All right. So here we are on O'Reilly's website. And because they're consumer discretionary, guys, this is going to be all about, hey, buy something. Everything going to be about buying. They trying to sell us everything. So we're going to have to dig through this to find the about us. Decline this. We're going to have to find the about us, the careers, and the investors, but I'm sure we'll find it, but it's going to be at the bottom. We're going to scroll through all types of stuff they're trying to get us to buy. Okay. So let's just get the scrolling. So they got some sales going on, featured categories. You put your vehicle in, they help you find what you need, bundle and save. 250th anniversary for America. All right. We down at the bottom. That was quick. Now, if this was a clothing store, boy, we'll still be scrolling. But anyway, let's get to it. About us. So here's careers, investor relations. Hey, I'm just tripping off the fact that about us isn't a hyperlink. We can't click on that. company overview is going to probably be the next best thing. So let's go ahead and go to company overview, and then we'll go to the other two. But we found where we needed to go. So let's go to company overview. About O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here goes some stats down here. O'Reilly Auto Parts. What is Auto Parts? Auto Parts. Zoom in. About O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts has been a trusted leader in the automotive replacement parts industry since 1957. Learn about our mission, culture, and 6,600 plus locations across the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Yeah, 6,644 plus. Over 93,000 team members. Over 32 distribution centers. It doesn't say over. O'Reilly mission, excellence in auto parts. That's good. They kept it short and sweet. O'Reilly culture, teamwork, and service. Got it. The O'Reilly culture, our commitment to our customers and our team members. We are enthusiastic, hardworking professionals who are dedicated to teamwork, safety, wellness, and excellent customer service. We will practice expense control while setting an example of respect, honesty, and a win-win attitude in everything we do. Our locations across the United States, well, actually, North America, the continent. Our locations across North America, here's the United States, and here is Canada. And here is Mexico. All right, meet our leadership, learn our history, see our team philosophy. Let me take this down because I was blocking it. There you go. All right, so we went over that. We learned a little bit about the company. Now what we're going to look for, we're going to look for careers. That's right here. And then they have investor relations here too, but we're going to go to careers first. So here we are with careers. Let's see about zooming in. Yep, they zoomed us out. Look at all this crazy stuff popping up. Close that, never allow, and deny. Oh man, these cookies, they get to attacking you. All right, grow at the O'Reillys. Let's find recommendations for you based on your interests. I just want to know what the benefits are. Be the first to apply. So here are some job opportunities that they have. The O'Reilly culture. They got a video plan. Let's pause that. You can watch that on your own time. Learn about our culture firsthand through Brad Beckman's journey as he shares how our values have guided his growth from a parts specialist to the CEO. Got it. Search by location. There's a nice little map. Choose your career path. These are the different departments they have: stores, distribution, transportation, corporate technology. Join our talent community. I ain't seen nothing about benefits, so maybe it's at the top. So they talk about hiring events, already apply, stay connected, engagement, outreach, search and apply, O'Reilly Life. There it is. Benefits and compensation. Got to click around, guys. There we go. Benefits and compensation. O'Reilly offers a comprehensive benefits package that brings value to our team members at an affordable price. Financial benefits. So they break that down. That's good. 401k and retirement, stock purchase plan, discount programs, education assistance. That is dope. Working for O'Reilly Auto Parts is truly rewarding as they not only care about their team members, they equally care for their team members as families. Got it. So that's a testimony from her. Health benefits plans. You can learn more. Live Life Well program. Here's another testimony. O-Care Solutions. So counseling, elderly care, parent and pet care, legal assistance. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Financial and identity theft. I don't think I've seen that before, or not frequently either. All right, so we went through that. Now we're looking for investor relations. So let's close this out. Investor relations. They did open up another website. All right, blow this up, zoom in, because I know they didn't zoom us out. That was good. All right, thank you guys for tuning back in. Y'all saw me mess up. Go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you. All right, so here we go. Investor relations. Welcome to O'Reilly Investor Relations, your trusted source for financial updates, SEC filings, earnings reports, and key investor events. All right, driven to excellence. Here is their stock information right there, big and bold, easy to see. So here's the price net change, down $6.01. We're going to go over that, but we know where to find it on their website. All right, press release. Here are a few other things. Now we're looking for more details about the stock, like to see if they have a chart available on their website. And then we'll talk about some things I found in my research about the company. So yeah, I don't see anything clickable up there. Let's see if that's a hyperlink right there for the stock. Nope. Yeah, guys, we can't click on it. So I don't think they have a stock quote that goes into deeper detail or actual charts available on their website. All right, so let's move on. Let's go here. We're still talking about O'Reilly, so we can leave that there. And let's talk about what I found in my research. So O'Reilly Automotive Incorporated, ticker ORLY. When it comes to their goods and services, when it comes to that, they manage automotive aftermarket distribution across the professional service provider, commercial fleet, and do-it-yourself retail markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete mechanical repair options, including brake system components and heavy-duty chassis parts for professional automotive service shops. Number two, scalable fleet maintenance products, including heavy-duty truck components, specialized diagnostic tools, and bulk fluid inventory for commercial transport operators. Number three, and optimized inventory logistics systems tailored for overnight hot shot delivery, real-time parts tracking, and electronic shop management integration. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include United Parcel Service Incorporated, ticker UPS, FedEx Corporation, ticker symbol. Wait a minute. I'm gonna double check that because we're gonna figure that out. But FedEx Corporation, ticker FD, and Ryder System Incorporated, ticker R. All right. So here's what I mean by that. Let's go to the charts. I want to check those real quick. Go to the charts. Bam, bam, bam. We can do that from right here. Here we go. So you can see it. Now we're still going to be looking up O'Reilly. I just want to check and see if FD is FedEx. I want to check these tickers. So FD. That's not FedEx. I knew that wasn't FedEx. FedEx ticker is different, guys. So let's figure out what that is. We can just type in the name. It'll give us the ticker. FEDEX. It's FDX. It's not FD. Okay. So let's fact check, fix that. Let's get that. So FedEx ticker, FedEx Corporation ticker, FDX, guys. That's the accurate ticker for FedEx. All right, so we got that. Now let's fact check this Ryder System Incorporated ticker R, because it's rare that companies have a single letter for their ticker. That's rare. But it's theirs. So we fact checked it. We got it. So those are the tickers. Those are the accurate tickers now. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the charts for O'Reilly, ORLY. Bam, let's go to the charts. Ooh, so we looking at, let me take me off the screen. Look at these boys over here. It's been going up. That's all they do is go up. What I'm seeing over here, this is crazy. All right, so they have a 10-year low. I'm so excited. We usually don't even look at the 10-year weekly first. This is usually where we start, guys. We usually start at a 1-year daily chart. That information is going to be right here. So they trade on the NASDAQ. And this is a 1-year daily chart. That's the information over there. I got excited. The 10-year weekly pulled up first. Okay. Well, we start here and then we work our way backwards. So let's start here. So looking at the 1-year daily chart, they have a 52-week high of $108.72. They have a 52-week low of $82.71. Guys, that happened today. Okay. This is today. All right. Now we're going to come back over here and we're going to start working on these technicals. But let's go over here to the 10-year weekly chart. So we know that this is 10 years because sometimes it doesn't go back that far because we see 2016 right here. They have a 10-year low of $11.30 and they have a 10-year high of $108.72. All right. Is that the same price over here? Yes. So the 10-year high is also the 52-week high. Now, when we look, they've been on an uptrend pretty much for 10 years. They're starting to pull back. It's not a steep decline. It's not steep, but it is pulling back. Okay. So we're going to do some technicals on this 10-year weekly chart because it is crossing some prior price levels that it's experienced on this uptrend. Okay. So we are going to do that. Now, what did I want to point out over here? I don't think I see anything. So let's go ahead and do this. So what we're going to do, we're going to zoom in on this area right here. This is where we're going to focus our attention. I'm going to pull this, drag this over, and I'm going to put me back on the screen. I think that's enough. All right. So put me back on the screen. Now, when we're looking at these areas of support and resistance, let's point this out first. Guys, this is the 200-week simple moving average, because now these candles are weekly candles. We're looking at weekly candles. And this 9-week simple moving average, this right here, 9, and this one is going to say 200, SMA, 9 and the 200. So those are what we're looking at. So what I'm seeing is that over here, O'Reilly's was trading above the 9-day simple moving average the majority of the time on that. Now it's starting to trade below the 9-week simple moving average. I hope I said this right. 9-week simple moving average, that green line, and now it's trading below the 9-week simple moving average. More of these candles. The close of these candles for the weeks are more below than above that 9-week simple moving average, and it's approaching the 200-week simple moving average, which I see as potential support. Now, let's start looking for support levels looking at the 10-year weekly chart. So what I'm seeing, these candles right here, guys, that's a price level to me that is responding to. So that's a psychological level, because $89.83 is real close to 90. So like we respond, humans, our nature, we respond to these round numbers like 80, 90, 100. We really crazy about 10, 20, 50, 100, things like that. But this is close to a round number of 90. And that price level, it wasn't able to hold. It opened above that price level this week, but now it's trading below that price level. So what I'm doing now, I'm looking over to the right. But honestly, guys, the way O'Reilly looks on this weekly chart, I would feel more comfortable looking at this as a range, like a support range, because I see another price level right here. You see, now that might not stand out to you, so I'm gonna show you. Right here, that price level was resistance. Over here on this red candle and this green candle here, it acted as support. So that's $85.46. There's a few candles right here that it responded to as support, those two green candles. And then this week, and this is just Monday, so that week candle, it only represents 1 day right now, and it's already below that price level that was support. But now it's resistance because the weekly candle is below that, at least for right now. So on the daily chart, if we go over to the daily chart, that's going to be resistance because the price closed below it. Okay. Now, the next area of support, guys, I'm seeing this level right here. And I would do that as a zone as well. You see how many of these candles right here, like if we brought that down, if we brought that zone down, let me do this as a zone so you'll see what I'm saying. Let's change this from a price level to a zone. So the way we do that, we go here, connect it to the low of this candle right here. Use the low of this candle. If I use the low of this candle, it'll touch more of these candles, and you'll see what I'm saying in a minute. So I'm going to remove that drawing, and I'm going to extend this over to 2026 December 1st. And then I'm going to extend this over to 2023 December. Well, we can do January 2024. So let's just go back. January. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Now, when I did it that way, this touches more candles with that zone. You got these 3 candles here and a lot of these candles responding to that zone. So now that the price level is trading above that, this zone is going to be a support zone. Because this is where this price action is right now, I would say it's probably one more price level based off of these weeks. So let me do this. Let me do these and then we can move on to the lower time frame. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put these price levels here. I believe we used the low of that candle and the high of, ooh boy, my glass is working good right now because those are little. So that's the bottom of that zone at $76. That's the top of the zone at $78.82. And that zone, I'm seeing it as support right now. Now, as far as resistance, yeah. This is kind of crazy. It's like a zone. It's like a zone. It's not clean. These weeks aren't clean. It's not clean. That's a good one. That's close. It's in the eye of the beholder. Anyway, so there we go. $95.56 as far as a resistance zone. Resistance, a level of resistance that I'm seeing. Since the price action is here, I wanted to give some ideas of support and resistance. So that's what I got. Now, let's go over here to the lower time frame for O'Reilly. Now we have some of these price levels done for us already, all right? So here's today's candle, this big crazy red candle right there. Resistance, we can see it cleaner on these daily candles, okay? Much cleaner. Much cleaner. So I'm seeing it like a resistance zone. It's easier to see this zone over here. So let's use this. Let's go here. And I'm trying to get as many of these candles as I can without making the zone too wide. Without making it too wide, I want to catch as many of these candles as I can. I think this low. I think that low right there is going to give me what I want. All right, so I'm going to extend this over to December 1st of this year. And then I'm going to take this back to, we can just go over 2 months, January 1st. What did I just do there? What did I, oh, I see what it is. We need to take it 2025. There we go. No. Oh, yeah. And I didn't click it, did I? No, I didn't. There we go. That made it go far enough to the left. So now when I did it that way, we can see that based on that zone, we've been able to catch more of these candles to see it as resistance. You have some candles in the resistance zone there, like 4 days there, nice amount here, here, and here. Now, understanding what that price level is, we can go ahead and put that on there now. And then we're going to go ahead and get the stock quote. And then we'll talk about the 9-day simple moving average, since these are daily candles, and then the 200-day simple moving average. So the price levels is 99.80 and 101.01. 99.80 and 101.01. 99.80 and 101.01. 99.80 and 101.01. There we go. That's that one. And then 99.80. So we go bam, bam, edit. 99.80. Bam. All right. So that's the top and the bottom of that resistance zone. It's a resistance zone because the price action is down. And here is the 200-day simple moving average. And I'm seeing that as resistance as well. And it just crossed this level of support that we found, or we identified on the 10-year weekly chart for the $95.56. And then the price action on today's candle closed below that 85.46 in 1 day of this week. So we still have 4 more candles that are going to form into that weekly candle that we looked at on the higher time frame on the 10-year weekly chart. All right, got it. Now let's zoom in a little bit and go ahead and get the quote for O'Reilly so we can go ahead and move on. There we go. Zoom in. Cut on the floating data box. Here we go. Floating, apply, bam. So O'Reilly opened today at $90.21. They had a high of $90.25. They had a low of $82.71. And they closed today at $84.24, which was a trading range of $7.53. Now, when we look at the trading volume, guys, they traded 15.3 million shares of this stock today. So what we're going to do, we're going to take off my floating data box. We're going to take me off the screen and we're going to look and find what the average trading volume is for O'Reilly in a daily trading session. And oh my goodness, guys, they only trade 5.7 million shares in the daily trading session. So this is 5 times the average. They traded 15.3 on this huge candle right here. Now, something else I want to share with you with technicals. I'll get into that in a second. I'll give you that after we finish the volume. I won't forget. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I don't forget. Let me put this right here. Midpoint. That'll remind me. That'll remind me. That'll be what I need to remember what I need to do to share that with y'all. All right, midpoint. All right, so we can see that the volume has been increasing since the stock price has been decreasing anyway. So here is the previous volume, which is this red candle right here. So today's candle is higher than Thursday's candle, because remember, we didn't have a trading session on Friday due to an observance of the 4th of July. Okay. And then if we wanted to see what the volume was for this candle right here, all we would do is mouse over it. If we mouse, I'm blocking it over here. So let's not do that. Just go to the settings, floating data box. When I mouse over it, I'm curious to see what the volume is there. They did 8.6 million. So on that first red candle, it was 8.6 million. And then we steadily see it increasing as the stock price is falling. Okay. That's what we got there. So let me erase this. We're going to leave the midpoint there. And now we can put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume rank percentile. Guys, this is significant volume right here, because out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 3 of those days had higher volume than today, which means that today's volume was higher than 98.8% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes. Got it? Hope you do. And this wasn't even on earnings. They have earnings coming up on, what date is that? Come on now, take the floating data box off. Take that off and mouse over it, and it should tell me. They have earnings coming up July 29th, after market. All right, now here's what I wanted to show you about this when I had midpoint on the screen, which came down. When you have large green or large red candles, the midpoint of the body tends to act as support and resistance. So the tool I like to use to identify the midpoint of the candle when we see a long candle like that is the Fibonacci retracement tool. So it's right here, Fibonacci retracements. So when I attach it to the top, which would be the open, and then the close of the candle. Now, let me make sure I break this down, because that might not be the top. Because the high and the open of this red candle is so close, it could have attached itself to the high. It could have snapped to the high. So we're going to figure that out right now. So when I mouse over that candle, the high is $90.25. The open is $90.21. So what I do, I open up the Fibonacci tool and I'm looking for $90.21. So it is on the open. You can see it right here. So it is right. So what's going to happen when I spread that open and make it a little longer? It already has the midpoint identified for me. It says 50%. So the midpoint of that candle is $87.23. And because it's so large and it has above average volume, the midpoint of that red candle could act as support or resistance. So because it's red, that could possibly act as resistance, the midpoint of that body of that candle. All right. So that's some free game. Let's go ahead and move on. And I'm going to remove that tool. And let's go ahead and go to the Market Watch tab, because we're going to go look for the biggest winner so we can wrap this second part of the show up. Since I had to do a part 2, let's go up here and open up the S&P 500 index watch list. Let's go to the winner. So The biggest winner in the S&P 500 index for today is ticker ANET, Arista Networks Incorporated. There we go. So they went up 8.31% today. Their previous close was $159.99, and they closed today at $173.28. So now let's open up this calculator and do a hypothetical. So let's say somebody invested $4,500 and they got that, what was that, 8.31% gain, turning it into a decimal with the percentage, and then hit that equal, they would have gained $373.95. We add that to the $4,500 initial investment, which would be the principal. Total investment would have grown to $4,873.95. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, now take all that off the chart. We're going to go over to the Analyze tab, and we can see that ANET, ticker ANET, is in the information technology sector. So we're going to look at that sector's performance, that industry performance, and that sub-industry performance. All right. So let's go ahead and go over here to the Market Watch tab, and we're going to go to the Visualize sub tab, and we are going to go to the S&P 500 index right there. All right. So now what we're doing, S&P 500 index, we are looking for the information technology sector. Take me off the screen. Here is the information technology sector right here. Bam. Now we're looking for ANET. All right. So here is the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment. There's technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals. And here is ANET, and it is inside of communications. I can't read it all. So let's click on it. Communications equipment. And this whole industry did well today. Everything is green. So it's outside of what normally leads or what everybody's crazy about in the information technology sector, which is the storage and semiconductors. So it's still in the information technology sector, but it's in the communications equipment industry inside of that sector. All right. Now the sub industry looks like it's the same. It's the same. So if we open it up, you can also see that it says communication equipment. So the industry and sub industry have the same title. So let's go back to the Analyze tab. Now, before we go to Arista Networks Incorporated website, here is the link to their website. Let's read a little bit about the company, and then we can go check it out. Arista Networks Incorporated engages in the development, marketing, and sale of data-driven client-to-cloud networking solutions for AI data center campus and routing environments in the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and the Asia Pacific. Got it. So we can put me back on the screen, and we can take this off, and we're about to go to their website. So here is Arista's website. Let me check and see if we're already zoomed in, because you know how that be. You know how that is. All right, we at 150. We're at 150. Looking over the top, they have the company here. I don't see careers or investors at the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and browse over their website, and then we're going to click on some of these links. And thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out tremendously, and I appreciate you. Just hit that like button. Appreciate you. Big favor. Reject all these. Reject optional cookies. Yeah, whatever. All right. So Spotlight feature content. Arista Networks is named a leader in the 2026 Gartner Magic Quadrant for, I knew it was going to move. Guys, this is, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. News, Futurom, products, Cloud Vision, Q. Oh, we at the bottom. That was a short stroll. You walk out the front house and fall off the front porch. That was a short stroll. All right. Down here at the bottom, we got about Arista. So you got company, you got careers, you got investment relations. That's really, I can put me on the screen. That's very convenient and easy. It's right here. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's go to company. Man, we almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's hurry up and get this done. Let's get this done. Corporate profile about Arista. I'm not going to read all this. I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. I'll read the first sentence. About Arista. Arista Networks is an industry leader in the data-driven client cloud networking for large data center, AI campus, and routing environments. Arista's award-winning platforms deliver availability, agility, automation, and analytics, and security through an advanced network of operating stack. Okay, customers, acquisitions, Company accolades, founded more than 20 years ago, public company for 10 years, approximately 4,500 global employees, more than 100 million ports installed, and over 10,000 plus customers. Awards, management, news and events, a video right here, video library. Okay, and remember, links to these websites, including this one, are down in the description for your convenience if you want to slow this down because I'm moving a little faster. All right. So customer engineering, taking the benefits and perks. Arista believes in supporting people. All right, their culture. Our culture is one that is founded on key values that resonate across all employees in the organization. As professionals, colleagues, friends, and peers, Arista is all about respect, integrity, innovation, passion, pride, and trust. Brand guidelines. Okay, so we're down at the bottom. We got through that. Let's go to careers. We're looking for the benefits. Please make this easy to find, guys. Please, website. Careers at Arista Networks. So what are you waiting for? Come join us and be a part of the passionate, collaborative, and innovative team at Arista. We seek innovative thinkers, team players, and individuals who are passionate about creating great products that solve networking problems. Take a closer look at opportunities in. So those are the different departments. Got it. Where are the benefits? Our culture at software engineers. Culture at Arista, software engineers perspective. Arista Global Ice Cream Social, Life at Arista, Arista Employee Management, Benefits and Perks. Got it. There we go, guys. Pause it, read it, take me off the screen, visit the website for yourself, but there we go. Look at this. Did this see something about secure bike lockers? Okay. All right. We got it. And here we go. Job scams. Boy, listen, you got to be protected out here. They scamming jobs. Oh, this is terrible. All right, investor relations. Woo, blow this up, zoom in. We almost done, guys. We're going to do some quick technicals on this. Here's their stock information and a little chart. This is the poorest. This is the poorest little chart I've ever seen on any of the companies that we've done on these live streams. Oh, can you click on it and go somewhere else? It looks like this is clickable. Stock quote, like you can click on that. So let's browse over this page. Stock info is up here. Yeah, okay. I hope that they got something bigger than that. I really do. Here go a lot of some videos they have on this page. Please tell me they got it where you can go to something a little bigger than that. Okay. Woo, boy, that was about to be terrible right there. So here's the stock quote. Here's another chart that they have available on their website and a few other tools. All right. So we see that. Now let's go ahead and go to my research that I found out about some things about the company. Here we go. So biggest gainer research, Arista Networks Incorporated, ticker ANET. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage data-driven cloud networking solutions across the hyperscale cloud, artificial intelligence, data center, and enterprise campus markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete Ethernet switching options, including high-performance 400G and 800G platforms for multi-tenant cloud providers. Number two, scalable network and software products, including extensible operating system platforms, cloud vision automation, and advanced telemetry tools for network administrators. And number three, optimized AI fabric systems tailored for ultra-low latency, non-blocking packet distribution, and high-density computer clusters. Oh, pat myself on the back for that. Got through it. All right. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, Meta Platforms Incorporated, ticker META, and Oracle Corporation, ticker ORCL. Got it. All right. Now let's go to the charts so we can finish up this show. Here we go. Bam. Bam. All right, ANET charts. Bang. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at a 1 year daily chart. They have a 52-week low of $100.33, which you can't see because I'm in the way. Right here, $100.33 is their 52-week low, and they have a 52-week high of $179.80. This is not right. So if I go here, take that off. Is it time axis? Yeah, this should be 30. Go here, 30. That's just my own little personal preference, guys. Nothing special. All right. So that's that. Now we're going to go look at the 10-year daily chart and make sure it does say 2016, which it does. And man, this is crazy. So their 10-year low is $4.29, guys. And now they're trading at $179.80. No, that's not where they're trading. My apologies. That's the 10-year high. So the 10-year high is $179.80. The 10-year low is $4.29. So what I'm going to attempt to do, I'll take those arrows off. I'm going to use this trend line tool, and we're going to see what this percentage gain is if I can get this right. So $4.29 and attach it to this 179. So we go to edit properties. $4. It accurately did it. Okay. So that is a gain of over 4,000%. So 4,089.92%, guys. In a matter of 3,570 days. So roughly 10 years, a 10-year investment that grew over 4,000%. So another way to look at that, you know how we were using 4,500 as an example, the $4,500. So if we do $4,500 times, what was it, 4,000? I'm gonna have to mouse over it again. 4,089.92, 4,089.42. Yep. And then we turn it into a percentage, and then we hit equal. Woo! $4,500 would have grown to $184,023.90 in a little under 10 years. Very little under. Like the majority of the 10 years. It would have took 10 years to do it. But look at how much that would have grown. A $4,500 investment. That's crazy. All right. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and focus on these technicals. The price action is up here right now. So I really don't think that we need to use the 10-year weekly chart to do any of the technicals. We have enough information right here to work on that. So let's remove this tool. Remove drawing. There we go. All right. Now move that arrow. Here's today's candle right there. It's approaching this level right here. And it looks like these two candles had a hard time. Yeah, guys, I'm seeing this as a zone. All right. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Bam. So the tool I'm using is the rectangle tool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the high of that candle. And the high or open of that candle. That's good enough. Edit properties. I'm going to extend this over to the right. So we're going to go to December 1st. December 1st. Click OK. Then we're going to extend this over to the left. Go here. Extend that over to the left. Just by a little bit. We don't need a lot. There we go. So we can see that it's touching all of those candles. So I was able to get all of those candles at that level. So that's going to be a resistance zone. Spread this. Bring this down. Come on. Bring this down. And then I want to put these price levels here for you. So edit properties. Those are the price levels. So you got 175.20 and 176.72. 176.72. 176.72. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now, what was the other one? Edit properties. 175.20. 175.20. 175.19. 175.20. There we go. 175.20. So that's going to be our resistance zone. If it gets above that, that's going to be my area of resistance. Now I'm using that high because that gives us two candles. That gives us the 52-week high candle and the high of that candle. So the next area of resistance I'm seeing, how I look at it, as $179.10 if it's able to close above these two price levels inside that resistance zone. Now it is trading above the 9-day simple moving average, which is that dashed green line. Now looking at support, I done zoomed in so far now. Guys, it kind of looked like it's trending sideways. You know, like it's in a tight little range. And they had a gap over here that has been filling. It's been filling that gap. So it filled that gap. Then it has a gap down here that it just filled, trying to identify where these gaps were. Then you had a gap here that it just came down and filled. So that's it. That's what I'm looking for. This right here. So this old gap, so I would have identified it this way. This is how it would have looked before it filled. If I had seen this prior, it would have looked like that. So when this candle came down and filled that gap, this would have went away. But you see how that gap is acting as support because these other candles weren't able to close below that gap. I hope that makes sense to you. So we're going to edit these properties. We're going to turn that back to be identified as a area of support and resistance. And now I'm going to extend that over to January 1st. Okay. And now we can see what was going on with that. Now we need some price levels, guys. So edit properties. That's 157.07. That's the bottom of the zone. 157.07. I think it's this. Yep. 157.07. The top of the zone, edit properties, was 159.14. 159.14. 159.14. I don't see where that was that I used. 159.14. Oh, it was the gap. It was this. Edit properties, price level, 159.14. I can just put it in here since I'm already here instead of trying to snap it to the other one. There we go. All right. So since the price action is here, the support that I'm seeing are these two price levels in this support zone and the 9-day simple moving average. If it makes it through there, if it breaks that support and goes down, I'm seeing a zone here, guys. This isn't clean. This is going to be a zone. See another zone. So the zone I'm seeing is between this high, use the rectangle tool, this high and this low. And I'm going to extend these over. I'm not going to put the price levels here because we already spent a lot of time on this tonight, but you get the idea. I'm going to open it up so you can see it. So if you're taking notes or you trying to see what it was or anything like that, did we use? Oh, no, I can't do this fast because we're snapping it to this. So it was the high of this candle and the low of that candle. So you can see the price levels. There it is. So that's going to be another area of support. And then if it makes it through that, then I'm looking at the 200-day simple moving average right here. All right. So those are the technicals I got. Let me adjust this chart and then we can get the quote. We can go ahead and wrap up. Bring this in so it'll make it a little easier to see. All right. So let's get the stock quote for ANET. Here we go. Floating data box. There we go. Mouse over it. So ANET opened today at $162.87. They had a high of $177.20. They had a low of $161.36. They closed today at $173.28, and that was a trading range of $15.84. Now, the trading volume, they traded 8.5 million shares of this stock today. 8.5 million. So what I'm interested in, I want to know what their average trading volume is in a daily trading session. So we close that floating data box, take me off the screen, and we can see that the average trading volume for ANET is 8.5 million shares in a daily trading session. So it's right in line with the average. Nothing too fancy. Even though we have a big green candle here, where it seems really bullish, that's average volume. This red candle actually had more volume. And here's the previous volume, which is that red candle. Let me take off some of these. Let's do it this way. Let's try something new. There's the red candle, so you know which one I'm pointing at. So here's the red candle's volume right there. And then here is the green candle's volume. So we can see that the red candle had higher volume than the green candle. So you see more volume come in when the price action was coming down. But when it came up, the volume dropped. That's what we're seeing. All right. So we did that. Now we can put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the volume rate percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume is only higher than 61.9% of those most recent 252 trading days volumes. And then if we wanted to be specific, it's only 96 of those days are above today's volume, and 156 of those days are below today's volume. Got it? I hope you do, because we done. Oh, I hope you do, because I'm finished. That's how we doing this. Let's go there. Let's go there. All right, now let me double check my closing. Listen, guys, this was one for the record books tonight, boy. I'm telling you, I ain't feel like doing this show, but I showed up. I did it. This show, I accidentally ended it in the middle of the show and came back on. Boy, I'm proud of myself. Trying to tell you. All right, so you already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, July 12th, at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's performance of the 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index, companies that stood out, notable market news, and performing a live Q&A so we can focus on building our community. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following the market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.